What is up, my friends? You are very welcome back after Liverpool throw away a 2-goal lead to draw 3-3 at Aston Villa and Jurgen Klopp's final away game as Liverpool manager. I'm quite frustrated by the way the game ended. Of course, I'm sure you guys are as well. Congratulate Aston Villa on their comeback. Good club, good fans, great manager. I wish them the best. But from our perspective, it leaves a bit of a sour taste, and I know I shouldn't be annoyed. I know it's an end of season game where our league position is sewn up and all, but I'm just not happy. I'm not happy with the players not sending the manager off with the goodbye he deserves. And I want us to be ruthless in the summer. I've said this for a while. Too many people are coasting through. And the changes, again, we fell apart. Jurgen makes some changes, Endo departs, we open up, too easy to get through, Villa keep pouring forward, we concede and could have easily conceded a fourth as well. Another frustrating moment when at one end of the pitch we have a goal that's ruled out correctly for offside, Darwin going too early, moments later we concede. It's frustrating, it's annoying, and I hope that we can put a stop to it in the summer when Arne Slot joins. I hope that we become more defensively rigid, and I hope we get the right signings, because this end of season has been frustrating, and fair to say it's been a bit of an anticlimax for the send-off we want for Jurgs. Now, of course, there's one more game to go at home against Wolves, and I'm sure we'll hear all the usual stuff during the week about the players, about how much it means to them, but talk is cheap. Performances are what count, and yet again, defensively, we've shown ourselves up to be too easy to score against. Where's the mentality monsters? They don't live here anymore by the looks of it, and we need to figure it out. Right. Magnus, thank you, mate, said, hi Craig, sad Klopp's time had to end like this. I know, mate, it's really frustrating, and I will move on to talk about this and lots more, but I've got to mention our sponsors as well. Just again, we are being brought to you with thanks to Manscaped. You can get yourself 20% off and free shipping store-wide, including the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra, the Beard Hedger Pro Kit, or anything else at manscaped.com. Use the QR code on the screen and the code Anfield20 at checkout. Jeff said, hello, Master Agenda, I hope you're well. I was doing quite well up until the last 10 or 15 minutes of that game, mate. Look, so we've got to do the obligatory asking you guys for some man of the match shouts so we can get the poll up. So do let us know who you think is in with a shout to be man of the match from a Liverpool perspective. Just, lads, I know I shouldn't be annoyed because it's a kind of nothing game, but I am still annoyed. Some sloppiness, some of the silly passing, some of the lazy running. It's unacceptable. It's just unacceptable. And again, I look at our defence and just think, what on earth is going on? 2 of those 3 Villa goals came from us giving away possession inside our own half of the pitch. And the other one came from our midfield allowing Villa to just walk through the centre of the park like nobody cared and nobody wanted to challenge them. And then yes, there was a little bit of fortune about Villa's goal, but ultimately it's down to us not making the challenges. And again, we're going to hear people say, stop being cruel on this person, stop going in on that person. At what point do we have to demand better? Because defensively, it's not good enough. And it's not just the back line. Defence has to start from the front. And in this case, certainly the midfield needs to step up and take a big portion of that responsibility, whether it was Maka taking the heavy touch or Maka not bringing his man down or closing down a midfield when Villa just walked through it. Whichever way you look at it, we're conceding way too many cheap goals and it needs to change. Salah FC, you were deluded, big changes needed. Well, I'm definitely not on the Salah FC team, mate. I'm a fan of Mo, but not blinded by him like some people. Unlucky Craig, it was another great game for a neutral, said Fidget. Thank you, mate. Right, look, let's get the poll up for man of the match. So, Connor, Ben, I don't know who's doing the poll in the background. Give us some suggestions and let us know who you think, if anybody deserves a man of the match show here for Liverpool. Because I'm struggling at this moment to really start thinking up players that need to be bigged up. I mean, I liked how Kwanzaa reacted from his mistake. Letting Ollie Watkins skin him, came back into the game. I thought he defended a little bit better as it went on. Good goal from him as well. Yeah, look, loads for us to get through. I just have to also give a shout out to our live shows. So if you want to come and see us You can get your tickets in the description of the stream or in the chat for Liverpool and Cardiff, which shows went on sale recently. Both those shows are all ages events, and I hope to see us there. Let's have a look at some of the match stats as well while the lads get the man of the match poll sorted out. I have a few super chats to catch up on as well. Season is already done. I have faith in Slot now, said 7DVZE. Thank you, my friend. Jason said, hi Craig, we're really falling over the finish line. I think that's pretty spot on, in fairness, mate. Owen said, I have such a weird feeling Ali's on his way out. He just looks like he's had enough, needs a change of scenery. I really, 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 really hope that there was nothing to the Allison stuff. I hope he still wants to be here. I certainly still want him here, but I don't know. You know, we've seen more Saudi stories coming up today linking Allison, but we'll have to just wait and see. Let's run through some of the numbers. The man of the match poll is open there, by the way, for you guys. Elia, Endo, Gakpo, Gomez with a suggestion, so they're the ones who've gone up. Let's have a look at the match stats as well. Liverpool had 59% possession to Aston Villa's 41. Look at that though. 19 shots for Villa, 5 on target. 14 shots for Liverpool, 7 on target. Corners, Aston Villa 5, Liverpool 4. XG, Aston Villa 3.36, Liverpool 1.73. It's just frustrating. Whatever way you look at this, it's not finishing the season well. It's not finishing the season in an upbeat way, and it definitely is not giving Jurgen the send-off he deserves. And I am angry about that. Like, I get it, we made changes, all this stuff, blah, 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 but we're just so fucking easy. So easy. Where's the mentality monsters gone? Owen said, who's arse, really? I kind of am, mate. Because it's not a great habit. It's not a great mindset. It's not a great situation when this is happening. Whatever else, these guys are paid a lot of money. And this is Jurgen's second to last game. So they should be arsed. They should be focused. They should be wanting to win. And I don't know if some of them have an eye on the Euros or whatever, but it ain't good enough. We shouldn't have to fear for a capitulation every time we make changes. Now, you have to look at Jurgen in this instance as well. Why take Endo off the park? I don't know. But when we made the changes, we absolutely fell apart. Curtis Jones, I'm fully going back to, is not good enough for Liverpool Football Club. And personally, I don't think he'll be sold, but I'd sell him in a heartbeat. It's frustrating. So yeah, I get it. I understand all that there's nothing on it, blah, blah. Fair point, but it still doesn't mean that standard shouldn't be kept. You know, you can't just turn on and off form and pride. And you should be proud to play for the shirt and the manager. And look at the difference. Look how Villa finished that game. That game ended in a 3-3 draw. And Villa feel like they've won it. Villa feel like they can go and do anything now. Whereas we're again going, how did that happen? You know, so it does matter. Everything matters in the big picture. That really sums up our season. Too many goals conceded, a lack of control to see out the game, said Will. I suppose everybody's going to blame Darwin again. Again, Eddie, I haven't even mentioned his name, I don't think yet, except for talking about how it shifted quickly from us having an offside goal to conceding in the space of a minute or whatever. But it ain't Darwin's fault that we haven't got players in midfield or defence who can stop opposition teams running through them. So yes, we can talk about the front line, and I don't think Diaz was great today, and Salah had some good stuff, but again, not ruthless enough in front of the goal for me. Gakpo I thought was okay. But yeah, look, I'm not going to scapegoat any one player, because truly, if you want my finger of blame here, it's on the manager. I don't want to say that, but you make 4 changes and we fall apart. It ain't rocket science. Diaz was quality. No, he wasn't. He wasn't, mate. He wasn't terrible. He works hard, but he wasn't quality. I would agree with that. Gakpo being our best forward. I would agree with Revanite on that one. Missed the super chat a bit ago, no biggie, but people blame Nunez. He doesn't play defence. Exactly. Now look, you can say we defend from the front and all that stuff, but it's on the midfield and defence for me. I'm scrolling back up, mate, to see if I can find that super chat. Sorry for missing it. What's this? Is that real? Hang on a minute. Is that post real? Connor, can somebody confirm to me, is that post genuine from Sky? Because, lads, if this is genuine from Sky Sports, I mean, I'm just getting confirmation that it is. One second, I need confirmation on this. Just to make sure that's a genuine post before I go in on Sky. Because if this is true, and this post is real, I mean, this, to say embarrassing is an understatement, but it is real. Okay, we've checked and it is real. Sky Sports posted this. Remember, Sky Sports, the morally superior people that tell the rest of us how to live our lives and how we should be respectful and to report hate. Well, Sky, I'd like to report some hate from you, you hypocritical scumbags. How about this? 87 minutes, ball in the net from Nunez, offside. Of course he is. The guy was born in an offside position. He just can't hold his run from a McAllister pass. Good finish beyond Martinez, but the flag goes up. He was off. How is that in any way professional, you hypocritical scumbags? That is unacceptable from Sky. Unacceptable. Honestly, and you idiots have the cheek to tell the rest of us how to behave, to stamp hate out of the game, to report any negative and toxic posts to people, and you're posting that. Is that not going to induce negative posts and harassment and hate to Darwin, you hypocritical clowns? Hang your heads in shame. You're not fit to broadcast the game. You're not fit to be telling the rest of us how to carry on, you disgusting scumbags. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. I'm having to just pause for a minute here, because truly, honest to God, absolute. I'm going to put it up on screen for you so you can see that I'm not inventing this. 1 second. I'm going to bring this up on screen. You do have an idea what I'm talking about. It's on the screen. Read it. Sky Sports posting, ball in the net from Nunez, offside. Of course he is. The guy was born in an offside position. And you hypocrites think the rest of us need to be taught how to behave and to report hate and toxicity and stamp it out. You hypocritical scumbags. Do you not think that that is going to lead to more Darwin abuse? Do you not think that that is going to lead to more vitriol? The very thing that you profess to want to stamp out? You cowardly hypocrites. Don't dare speak down your nose to the rest of us when you're not fit to lace our fucking shoes, you scumbags. Honest to God, that is... I'm honestly lost for words. I'm lost for words. And look, you might say it's banter. You might say you're overreacting. You might say this, that, and the other. And I'm open to all of that. But on one other thing, whatever way you say and think and feel about this, be under no illusion that that will lead to more toxicity towards Darwin. That will lead to more mocking and ridicule of Darwin, excuse me. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. That, honestly, that's a lot. Oh, that's scumbag stuff from Sky. As Revanite said, preach about abuse and all of that, and they're hypocrites. Yeah. They tell us to report hate. They tell us they want to stamp it out. They tell us about respect of people from different parts of the world, different sexual orientations, different religions. They tell us how to behave. And then they post that. That's just silly. That's just stupid. For a multi-billion-pound company to think that that is acceptable and that isn't going to induce hate and toxicity. Absolute lowlifes. Nothing wrong with it. It ain't that deep. You're an idiot. You are an idiot if you think that that isn't that deep. Behaviour is learnt. And if a mainstream broadcaster is okay and able to go in on a player and say he was born offside, and you don't think or understand in your childish brain that there might be a link to that and other young impressionable people watching it who might go, well, it's okay if Sky do that, so I can do it. I can slip into his DMs. I can tell him he's crap. I can post about him. You don't think that it's that deep because you don't comprehend the ramifications and the trigger effect of how these things go. Same about people singing about tragedies. They don't come out of their mother's womb and start knowing about these things. It's learnt behaviour. So yeah, it is that deep because it isn't just this one thing. It leads to a greater thing. I doubt they watch this, Craig. I don't care if Sky watch it or not. I'm saying how I feel. And how I feel is that's disgusting. Anyway. Yeah. All the people, I see the comments in the chat, the victims, all the other shit that you're trying to be funny about. You're all part of the problem if you don't understand the collective need for hate to be stamped out. It's not just a buzzword that Sky can make money off. You know? It's not right. And I'd feel the same if they were speaking about a Villa player, a United player, an Arsenal player. You cannot profess to be open, caring, and trying to stamp out hate and then post that. You can't. Whatever way. And look, yeah, I get it. You're all hilarious with the cry about it and all. I get it. All you nobodies who hide behind fake names, who haven't got the balls to show the world who you are. I get it. You're cowards. You don't need to have a pop at me, mate. I know. I've heard the cry, the victims, all the other shit. I get it. But the problem is, us real people who actually own our opinions and show ourselves to the world, we have a right to speak. You don't. You're irrelevant. You're a piss poor, cowardly little asshole hiding behind a fake name in his ma's room, typing away. If you really feel these opinions, use your real name. Post your toxicity online so your employers, your school, your family and your friends can see it. But you won't, because you're a coward, like I've just said. Filmed by Ted Salt said, "Hi Craig, as a United fan I agree. Feel like a lot of the press, especially the BBC, hammer some of our foreign players. I've seen Anthony get called a fraud and an embarrassment by BBC. Honestly, lads, look, I've said my say on it. We'll move on and talk about the game. Let's have a look at the man of the match poll and see how that's getting on. It's a close one, so still time for you guys to vote and have a say on it. But as of right now, it's Harvey Elliott who leads by 1% over Cody Gakpo, but there's still space for that to change. So, again, Michael said, Craig, you're going over the top. I've explained my stance. I won't. I'm not for changing on it, mate. If you don't understand the hypocrisy or you don't care about it, that's okay. I'm not going to jump down your throat and argue about it. But to me, I've been speaking about Sky's two-facedness for a long time, and that the rest of us are told how to behave and told to report hate and told to stamp it out of the game. And if you've got your admins posting stuff like that on a multi-billion pound corporation and you don't think there's something wrong with that, then I don't know what to say to you. Craig, if Klopp hadn't announced he's leaving and still had fallen off like we have, do you reckon he'd still have credit in the bank for another season? It's a really difficult conversation, and I can't say I haven't asked myself that question. I'm glad I don't have to answer it. Let me say that. I feel comfortable saying this. If Klopp hadn't announced he was leaving and he was seeing through his contract and we finished the season like this, I would, for the first time ever, start to question whether he's the right man to carry on taking us forward. I don't know if I'd get to the point of saying I want the manager out or a new change, but I definitely feel like I would at least have to address the situation. And yeah, I think that's the fairest I can be about it. I wouldn't be happy. You know, last year I think we all agreed he had more than enough credit in the bank for a poor season. It happens, transition and all that. But yeah, if this season had finished out the way it did, I think we would have a lot of questions, and I think the pressure would certainly have increased. As I said, I don't know if I can ever bring myself to say the words, I'd want Klopp out. I don't know. I respect the man so much, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a pussy here, but I think I would have understood change. I think that's the fairest way. Stephen Iron said, this is why Darwin deleted his pictures. Disgusted. What about Diaz? I didn't think Diaz was that good today. You know what you'll always get from Lucho is effort and work rate. Because Lucho will run and run and run and run and work hard. It's just those last little bits and pieces, the timing of a pass, or, you know, I think there's just a little bit missing there. Gakpo, I thought, played well. Salah, I'm still the same viewpoint that I've always been. I think now is the right time to sell. But, you know, lovely slide rule ball pass into Szoboszlai and forced a good save from Emi Martinez. I think Salah again put in a shift. Like the one that Diaz overhit, Mo burst the gut to get into position there. And it was what annoyed me about the opportunity was, and I think you'll know the one I'm talking about. Diaz gets the ball out on the left-hand side. I think Trent played it to him, but I can't remember. So he's got space on the left, and Mo is running centrally, and he's busting a lung to get into the penalty area. And the margin for error that Diaz had for that pass was so big that what he did is almost inexcusable. All he had to do was just play that into a 15-yard area in front of Mo at the right pace, and Mo's through one-on-one with the keeper, and I would, you know, almost guarantee Mo puts the ball in the back of the net. But Diaz overhits it and curves the ball away from Mo, and Mo's dragged wide and the chance breaks down. These are little things that it's good saying we create chances, but ruthless teams go finish them chances. Ruthless teams go and score them. And that's what I'm talking about with Diaz. Those little moments are just frustrating. Eddie Cox-Wilkins said Sky should be ashamed of themselves. I'm not going to drag myself back into that whole conversation, mate. I've more than had my say on it. So I'm going to just get back to the game for now. Salah was invisible, said Tom White. I'm in the Diaz isn't good enough to start camp, said Youre. All of our players look like headless chickens and running around. Do you know what's most concerning, though? Is so Klopp made 4 changes. If my memory's right, it was still 3-1 at the 4 changes. And yet again, we've seen, and not for the first time in recent history, that changes have sent us backwards. Rather than new fresh legs coming on at a tiring Aston Villa team. Because remember, we didn't play on Thursday. We haven't played since last Sunday. Aston Villa were over in Greece playing Olympiacos and put out most of their first team on Thursday. So somehow we made 4 changes and regressed. And Villa made changes and went and got a draw. That's alarming. And that's been a pattern in recent time. And it can only be a couple of things. Either the players that are coming on aren't arsed, or the squad's not as deep as we think, and maybe some of these players just aren't at the level that's enough for Klopp to trust them in certain situations. But we're talking about the lads like Szoboszlai here. We know his calibre. We know what he's capable of. Jones has had more bad games than good games for Liverpool, in my opinion. Endo leaving the pitch is a very clear example there of, if you don't have a defensive-minded midfielder, that can happen, their third goal. Changes again just send us backwards, and it's frustrating. For all the love we have for Klopp and what he's done, it's time, said Will. Just hope that Slot is given the money to freshen up the squad and offload a few players that are past their best. Did Jones have a touch of the ball? He did. He had a weak shot anyway that was saved by Emi Martinez. That's one thing I remember. I'm so embarrassed being a Liverpool fan. You should never be embarrassed to support the greatest club in the world, mate. Curtis Jones is simply not good enough, said Christchild. Klopp got the subs wrong, to be honest, said LFC Lover. We need a CDM, said Abinash. Maka is at fault, but Endo leaving the pitch made Maka play in that position. I agree with that. You know, Maka had a heavy touch for the second goal from us playing out from the back that opened up the ability for him to have his pocket picked, and Villa scored. The third one, though, one Villa player broke through 2 lines and unchallenged. It's just, that's unacceptable. Slop has no relationship or loyalty to this squad. Can only be a good thing. He'll pick the squad on merit and not on favourites or past achievements, said Owen Dunn. Jones, £30 million, and I would say yes, said East B. Which is really annoying, because Jones went through a period where he was really good. Like, really good. But it feels like that was an anomaly rather than a sign of progression. Because since the injury comeback, he's been a hindrance to us, in my opinion, when he's come on rather than a help. Jurgen should get man of the match for not getting a yellow. I mean, yeah, I'm glad that he didn't pick up that yellow, which would have, of course, seen him suspended for the last game, and that would have been a nightmare. Imagine Kloppo not being able to be on the sideline. Thundercheek said, unpopular opinion, but it really shouldn't be. Diaz is an average to slight above average footballer. Skills is good, but nowhere near enough for Liverpool. Football IQ is averaged at best. It's not changed. It was an individual error. McAllister error. I don't blame the whole team. So, Jim, the second goal was an individual error from McAllister. Again, with us in possession, giving the ball away. The third goal, mate, that's just not good enough defensively from the midfield 3 to the back 4. Just not good enough. Good finish. Actually, no, sorry, that was the lucky finish off Duran's knee. But, it is a defensive. It's no coincidence, mate, that we've fallen apart after changes a few times recently. So done with these late problems with Liverpool, said Shay. I don't know why people are blaming Allison. What more can he do? So Allison was iffy on occasion today with the ball at his feet. Certainly, I think for the second goal, it was a great strike from Duran. Really well hit into the corner. And the deflection, his positioning seemed a bit weird. Like, I don't understand why he was... I'm trying to think back here. I think Allison was somewhere between the 6-yard box and the penalty spot when the ball came up off the player's knee. So I don't really understand why he was there, but ultimately it looped up over him and into the net anyway. It's just, look, it's frustrating that, again, the sloppiness. Ball deflected off Duran's arm and hand. I looked at it, Abanash, and I think it came up off his off his thigh, mate, and it looped over. Obviously, I assume, mate, that it would have been looked at by VAR for the potential handball thing, because if it had to come off his hand, intentional or not, it would have ruled it out. So I assume that they'd looked at that and it came up off his thigh. Did we miss Robbo tonight? I thought Gomez did okay from my recollection. Again, that right-hand side. I'm really frustrated by their first goal because Kwanzaa should have known better. And 1, shouldn't have let Watkins get around the outside of him. 2, shouldn't have let Watkins get to the byline, and definitely shouldn't have let the cross come in. But I do feel Kwanzaa stepped up at times when the game went on and certainly scored a great goal, a great header. Can we get your player ratings? I'm going to record that video now in a couple of minutes, mate, Max, and that will be up live. So, yes, I'm going to record the player ratings too, mate. Don't worry. So, can I ask an honest question before we finish up? And I don't want any hate towards anybody. Where are we at with the Salah situation? Where were we at? Like, do we think it's time, or do we think it's form or injury? Because I'm ready to sell. I am. I've said it for a while. I'm ready to sell. Where can I get an Anfield Agenda hoodie for the Liverpool gig? They don't exist, Jason. So you can't get one at the moment, mate. Yeah, unfortunately. I can't even get one. You know how much I love a hoodie. Craig, would you sell Darwin, Robbo and Canade? Darwin I'd give one more season to. Robbo, no, I wouldn't be selling. I'd be looking to sell Costas and bring in another left back to compete with Robbo and hopefully become the successor. And Canade, I'm really confused, Ash, by Canade, because it's only for me in the last 2 months that I've really seen him look nowhere near the Canade I've seen previously. I wouldn't sell him, no. But I would increase the competition by bringing in another centre-back. Right, so sell Salah, said Ray. Sell Salah, said Neil Adri. I would sell Salah, said Robert Logie. Scotty said, I think it's time. It's time, said Flem Fatal. What a name that is, by the way. Very clever wordplay there, mate. Well in. Leaving him on a free can't be an option. Salah definitely hasn't been the same since the AFCON, said Red Craig. Hello BA said, I think it's time to sell Salah. Would I take Jared Bowen? I would, but he signed a 7-year deal last year, so I can only imagine that the price it would take would be ludicrous. So, no, in that regard. But as a player, yes. I would never base selling Mo on this game. No, I'm not trying to say we are basing it on just this game, Saeed, in fairness to you, mate. But it hasn't been just this game, you know. I don't think he's been himself for a while. Certainly since the return from injury, he's looked a shadow of himself. Something must have hit this group of players over the international break. 90% of the lads dropped off. Never seen anything like it, said East B. VVD, Salah and Darwin needs to go, said David Kennedy. Sell, it's time to get the cash, at Darren Parry. How do you replace Salah's goals? No one person, Jack, I think, can replace them. You know, I've always said that. Whenever the time came for Salah to depart Liverpool, I don't think any one person can replace his goals. I think you're going to have to just chip in with more from midfield and, you know, hope the goals are spread out across the attack in general. You know, I certainly don't believe he'll get a like for like, because in that sense, the numbers Mo has done since he's been at the club have been, they speak for themselves. You know, they're not questionable. They've been phenomenal. But football is a here and now business, you know, and how great he's been in the past, which is undoubtable. His place in history is written. You know, that's not up for debate. But now he just doesn't look the same to me. It's time to thank his services since he returned from injury. He gets body checked easily, said Samu. Time to sell Trent, the unreliable, said Tom White. Well, according to a post today about Real Madrid being interested, let's see what happens there. I mean, I just don't know, lads. Something needs to change, and I'm looking forward to a freshening up over the summer and seeing what Slot can do. I hope the club are ruthless in the transfer market. I hope that whomever is deemed, and it's not our place as fans to make these decisions. We can, of course, have opinions, but I hope that the club are ruthless, because the only thing I would say that has gone against Klopp maybe has been, and it's a horrible thing to say against somebody, because it's not usually in life a bad trait, but I think there's been too much loyalty in players who once did it but no longer do. So I hope whoever is making these changes now is ruthless. You'll never walk alone, Darwin. Thanks, Craig, for your commitment, said Ras. My pleasure, mate. Thank you. Right, look, I'm going to go record the player ratings, folks. Thank you for joining me. Do hit the subscribe button before you head off if you haven't. Thank you again for our sponsors, Manscaped. Don't forget you can get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. And make sure that you go on to social media if you're a social media user and let Sky know how unhappy and how hypocritic their post was about Darwin. Because in a day and age where the world is rightly trying to stamp out hate, discrimination and toxicity, that's hypocritical to say the least. So look, love you guys to bits. Keep an eye out for the player ratings coming up soon. And again, if you want to come and see us in Cardiff, Belfast or Liverpool, you can get tickets via that link at the top of the chat. And catch up with you soon.